And was it, apart from a slight nervousness towards the end, Southampton scored, was that almost like the perfect performance, occasion for your team with Thursday on the horizon?
Yeah, to a certain extent. I was really happy with the first half. I thought the first half we were, really disciplined, well organised. We sort of limited them to one chance, and I thought every time we went forward we looked dangerous. We looked threatening. It's probably as threatening as we've looked for quite a while. Really fluent. Obviously scored 2 goals, had one disallowed. Aaron's pulled off some good saves, and really pleased. Second half, not so much. I thought we became way too passive without the ball. We allowed sort of Southampton to get a little bit of a rhythm, and then we're really sloppy with the ball. And even the substitutions that we made didn't really make the impact I wanted to. So, which, as you said, allows them to sort of get a goal there. And so that was disappointing and something we need to improve on. But, overall, I think the important thing is we got the win. We scored 3 goals. Everyone got through unscathed and, ready for a big night Thursday.
I hate to bring it up, the VAR stuff again. 5 minutes, I think that decision was. How pleased are you that next week semi-automated offsides are coming in? Do you think they'll speed up the process?
Well, I've got no idea, mate. So that's the assumption. But again, if you had told me years ago that we were just spending 5 minutes during a football game just standing around, I would never have believed you. But everyone loves it. Everyone wants it. Everyone is delighted by it. It's working so well. We're getting all decisions right. So who am I to complain about it?
Final for me was James Maddison's performance. Without the ball, he looks better than I've seen him for a long time. Real intensity. What did you make of this performance?
Yeah, I thought so. Like I said, especially in the first half, I thought all the players, really embraced both, their attacking and defensive roles, and we need to take that into Europe. We know European football. Every moment of the game is important, and I thought Matters was really good with the ball, but like I said, I thought he was really disciplined without the ball. Like I said, first half I was really pleased with the lads. It can be a game where you can go out there and sort of try and urge yourself to, or try and rush to victory, but I thought there was a real controlled way we went about it without it sort of diminishing the intensity we want to play. But like I said, second half that wasn't the case, so we need to improve.
When you were waiting for 5 minutes for this VAR call, we were watching you and you sort of pretended to flick a coin and maybe did a bit of rock, paper, scissors. I mean, does that just sum up how it almost feels like it's pot luck on how doing it?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they draw those lines. Is anyone convinced by those? I mean, and this is not a slight on anyone. I don't think it favours us or not favour us, but the fact that we're waiting 5 minutes for something, I don't think that's what technology was brought in for. I really don't. I think, but it's gone too far down the road for anyone to claw it back. But, we used to allow the assistants to make those decisions, and we all accepted them. There was one midweek with Chelsea. If they had have paid that, I wouldn't have been complaining. I would have said, "Oh, it was a toenail offside," because I've had that my whole career. Sometimes offside was never meant to be, sort of microscopically judged. But if they ever get to a place where that's done instantaneously, then I accept it. Because offside is offside. But I just can't believe that this is what we brought it in for, to stand around for 5 minutes for something that in the end I still think is, in my view anyway, inconclusive. Now, like I said, the semi-automated will come in and, say it's going to hopefully improve and speed up the process, but I didn't think there was a crying need for the game of football to be disrupted like this, but it has been. And like I said, as I keep saying, that the overwhelming majority of voices are in favour of it. So that kind of means it's very hard to stem that tide.
Brennan Johnson, his numbers are really good. It feels like there are lots of games where he doesn't quite have the same impact. How do you get him to become, obviously not always scoring the match-winning goal, but be a bit more consistent?
It's just it's tough. But I think that whenever Brendan plays, he's always a goal threat, and he's been really good for us in terms of goals, and whilst I don't rank them highly, even his assists are important to us today. He won the penalty, so he's really important for us in the way we play. You know, I don't think he's been inconsistent this year. I just think that the disruptions we've had in the team and the inability to get some real cohesion within the group has you know, sort of disrupted everyone's season. But great for him today. I was really pleased with him. Not just his goals, his general work rate, his general play was really good, and he's important for us because, you know, as a wide player, there aren't many around that they're a constant goal threat like he is, and you know, I'm really pleased for him today.
Just finally, the goal you conceded, getting caught out of the back sticks, not the first time it's happened of late. We had that, I think it was the Ipswich goal as well. I think. I mean, is that a concern, those particular type of goals?
Yeah, to a certain extent, but it's more sort of how we got to that point. Like I said, you know, if you allow the opposition, you know, to kind of get into a rhythm, and they're going to find those kind of opportunities, whereas in the first half we never really allowed it. I think, like I said, they did have the one, but aside from that, we hardly let them into our half, whereas in the second half, well, you know, we just sort of sat back. Now, you know, maybe the guys were thinking about Thursday, but I just don't think you can play that way. And you know, it was disappointing to concede because, again, in Europe, you know, every goal is important. You know, the ones you score and the ones you concede, you know, count for a lot more in terms of, you know, the outcome of a tie. So it was disappointing to concede a goal today, but more disappointing, I think, was the way we went about it in the second half.
With Brennan, it feels like he's lacked a little bit of confidence over the last couple of months. How important is that for his confidence? And I guess today you would have wanted players to go out there and show why they deserve to play Thursday.
Yeah. Look, like I said, I think with Brennan, he's, you know, he's always in the areas we need him to be. He's probably one of the most disciplined players we have in terms of making sure that he's always in the right positions, and that's why he gets his goals. And like I said, you know, there's been times this year where, you know, I think his form suffered because of the team more than anything else. I think when we played like we did in the first half, you know, Brennan becomes a real, you know, important player for us because, you know, we were a constant threat. We were always breaking lines. We were making half space runs. We were, you know, respecting those runs. We were getting balls into the box in the areas we need to. And, you know, like I said, every time we went forward, we looked like scoring. So, you know, if we do that, then I think it's not a matter of confidence for Brennan. It just gives him more of those opportunities. Because the one thing about him is he'll always be in those positions. So it's up to us to sort of match his discipline in that. Yeah, Destiny and Mickey are fine. Obviously, they've missed a lot of football this year, so it made sense for us to kind of, you know, sort of put them on ice today. And Richie's good, yeah. I mean, we've kind of done this with a few of the boys now who are coming back, sort of getting involved in match day and possibility of him getting a run today. But I think when they're involved in match day, it kind of gets rid of a lot of the nerves when you're coming back from, or anxiety when you're coming back from, you know, a long time out. And it's great to have him back. You know, he'll get another sort of few days of training, and no doubt he'll play a part from now on.
Maddison ahead of, you know, a crucial couple of games coming up.
Yeah, good for him to get a goal. Again, you know, the guys coming on are really important. You know, I thought Wilson today, you know, he didn't look ready when he came on, and he sort of only came to life sort of in the last sort of 10, 15 minutes. But, you know, sometimes these guys coming on are going to be really vital for us in the Europe, because you know that the ties are going to be pretty intense, and we're going to have to make changes, and those changes are not going to be just to, you know, because players are not performing. It just might be because we need, you know, that extra energy. And, you know, guys like Maddison and Wilson, they're young guys, and we're going to need them. You know, they have the quality for sure. But, you know, I think we're going to need guys coming on. I thought Archie and Biss, when they came on, sort of helped us a bit in terms of just, you know, getting a bit more control of the game. But for all those guys, it's vital that, you know, now we've got a healthy squad that guys are ready to play.
I mean, the pass from Romero to start off with was excellent. I suppose you kind of missed that in his absence as well. But how encouraging was the whole play, and just what Spurs did?
Yeah, no, it was a goal that's kind of we've done a number of times. We haven't done consistently, and but I think that was, like I said, in the first half. I think we had many of those moments, and you know, with Christian back there and with Ben and when Mickey plays, you know, we've got centre backs who are comfortable on the ball, can find the right pass, give us some really good solutions, and then it's about making sure the guys further up, you know, find the right spaces. And I thought in the first half we did that a lot, and yeah, it was an excellent team goal from start to finish, and I think, you know, that was just a byproduct of us really being disciplined in our football in our first sort of 52 minutes.
You mentioned about I think something to do with physicality, obviously illness from coming back from Sweden and stuff, but seemed like back to himself today.
Yeah, look, he looked a bit, you know, he looked a little bit leggy on Thursday night, but I thought it was important him sort of get that out of his system. You know, he hadn't played because he didn't play in internationals, you know, for 2.5 weeks, and he hardly trained. But you know, with Thursday in mind, I thought getting him 60 minutes on Thursday and getting him another good sort of blocker. He looked a lot better today. He looked back to himself, physically stronger. And like I said, in the first half, I thought the midfield three, Rodri, Lucas and Matters were really, really good defensively, but also when we had the ball, really strong. And I thought they worked well together.
Okay, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.